Welcome to the JB podcast. Today we're going to talk about something that fascinates me, peak performance and what it actually takes to get there. And let me tell you, it's probably not what most people think. Through my conversations with various top-level professionals, there's this common thread I keep seeing. It's not just about being talented or working hard. It's about this complete mindset shift that separates the elite from everyone else. And sometimes what we see on the surface isn't the whole story. Let's break down what this peak performance mindset actually looks like. First up, these top performers all have this crystal clear vision of what they want. They're not just saying, I want to be the best. They're way more specific than that. They see it, they feel it, they live it in their minds before it ever happens in reality. This vision becomes almost like an obsession, but a calculated one. But here's where it gets interesting. They're not just dreamers. These performers have this brutal honesty with themselves. They know exactly where they stand right now, what they're good at, and what needs work. No ego, no excuses, just straight up self-awareness. And let me tell you, this level of honesty with yourself, it's uncomfortable. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. And speaking of no excuses, it's another massive piece of the puzzle. You know how easy it is to blame outside factors when things don't go your way? These top performers, they take ownership of everything. And I mean everything. Bad day, that's on them. Didn't perform well, they're looking at what they could have done differently. This level of accountability is actually pretty rare, and it's exhausting, but it's necessary. Now, let's talk about something crucial, the relationship with the process. Here's a truth bomb. Not every top performer loves what they do all the time. In fact, many of them don't enjoy significant parts of their journey, but here's what sets them apart. They do it anyway. They show up when they don't feel like it. They push through when it's not fun. They're not waiting for motivation or enjoyment to strike. They understand that excellence demands doing the uncomfortable, the boring, and sometimes even the painful things consistently. Think about that for a second. They're not doing it because they love every minute. They're doing it because it needs to be done. They've accepted that discomfort is part of the journey. And here's something that ties into that. These elite performers have mastered the art of delayed gratification. They're not looking for immediate rewards or constant enjoyment. They understand that true satisfaction comes from achieving something significant, even if the path there isn't always enjoyable. Let's talk about their relationship with pressure. These performers don't just handle pressure, they actually thrive on it. They've trained themselves to see pressure as a privilege. While most people are trying to avoid pressure, these performers are actively seeking it out. They understand that pressure is where growth happens, where breakthroughs occur. The mental game is absolutely crucial. These performers have developed this incredible ability to compartmentalize. They can be having the worst day of their life, but when it's time to perform, they switch into this different mode. It's not about feeling good all the time, it's about performing regardless of how you feel. Here's something that often gets overlooked. They're all incredibly adaptable. Plans go wrong. No problem. They adjust and keep moving forward. This flexibility while staying focused on the end goal, that's a real art. It's not about being rigid, it's about being relentless in pursuit of the goal, even if the path needs to change. Now let's talk about sacrifice, because peak performance demands it. These performers understand that you can't have it all. They make conscious choices about what they're willing to give up to achieve their goals. Social life, comfort, free time, everything is evaluated against their ultimate objective. The reality is, peak performance isn't glamorous most of the time. It's about showing up when others don't. It's about doing the work that others won't. It's about pushing through when others quit. The glory moments that we see, they're built on countless hours of unglamorous, often unenjoyable work. Before we wrap up today, let me break down the key points we've covered. Think of these as your action items, your blueprint for peak performance. First, develop that crystal clear vision. Get specific about what you want to achieve. Vague goals lead to vague results. Second, embrace brutal self-honesty. Take a hard look at where you are and what needs work. This might be uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Third, own everything in your life. No excuses, no blame game. Your results are your responsibility. Fourth, and this is crucial, understand that the process isn't always enjoyable. You don't have to love it, you just have to do it. Consistency over feelings every single time. Fifth, master delayed gratification. The best results often come after the longest wait. Get comfortable with that. Sixth, reframe your relationship with pressure. Start seeing it as an opportunity rather than a threat. 7th, work on your mental game. Learn to compartmentalise and perform regardless of circumstances. 8th, treat your time like it's gold. Be strategic about your energy and your choices. 9th, stay adaptable. The path to excellence rarely goes as planned, so be ready to adjust while keeping your end goal in sight. And finally, understand and accept the sacrifices required. Peak performance demands tough choices about what you're willing to give up. Remember, these aren't just abstract concepts. These are practical principles you can start applying today. Whether you're an athlete, entrepreneur, artist, or anyone striving for excellence, these principles will serve you well. And remember, this isn't just about sports or business. These principles apply to literally anything you want to excel at. Whether you're trying to be the best parent, the best artist, or the best in your field, this peak performance mindset is your blueprint. It won't always be fun, it won't always feel good, but if you're committed to excellence, you'll do it anyway. That's all for today's episode of the JB Podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.